area is with regards to multi-language. So Alemba Service Manager now has the ability to manage multi-language in correlation with Microsoft Translate. So if we go to the preview features within Alemba Service Manager within Core, we can enable multi-language, at which point, as you'll see, we now can select the translation service, which is Microsoft, and insert the relevant Microsoft Translate key. We can then toggle between varying different actions that we want to be performed as part of that service. So translating the form field values, translating search results on the portal, text fields on save. ASM Core also has a translation window, so analysts are able to see the language that the actual ticket was logged in within the self-service portal and see the translation. You can also cache the translation, as well as a whole host of other features such as translating incoming and outgoing emails, the audit history, and so on and so forth. Now, once that's enabled, if we just very briefly log out of the system, and we log back in, and we go back to system administration, what we now see under preview settings is we have the languages feature now available. So at the top of the screen, we can see all of the available languages that we could choose to add and enable within the multi-language feature. So within my current system here, we have English, Spanish, Italian, Japanese, French, German, and Welsh. And on the bottom of the screen, we can translate automatically, if you are using Microsoft Translate key, all the varying different labels and values that reside within the system. So if, for example, a language hadn't been translated thus far, I could select the applicable language that I wanted to translate. And once I've selected that, I would hit generate, and it would then automatically convert all of the keys, the labels, and the values within the system to the relevant language that's been selected. Obviously, there are many values within the system, so that can take up to 5 to 10 minutes to translate everything. Similarly, if you have language packs already exported, you can actually import those directly within the system as well. Furthermore, we also have service labels. So again, you can translate and manage the different types of language translations for the particular services that you have within the system as well. Now, if, for example, some of the context behind the language translations doesn't perhaps translate directly from Microsoft Translate itself, you can indeed manually alter and select varying different actions and language translations within the system as well. So again, extremely easy for you to manipulate any specific language that you want within the system. Now, once you've translated to the applicable language and enabled it within the actual self-service function, we can go back to self-service, and if I log out as the current user, you'll now see at the top right, I have my language flag, so I can log back in as the user. And if I wanted to toggle between a variety of languages, all I need to do is select the actual language flag. So you see here I've got Spanish, Italian, Japanese, French, German, and Welsh. So if, for example, we wanted to translate to Spanish, we very simply select the Spanish flag. And self-service will then be automatically translated to the Spanish language. So as you can see, everything from the headers, the labels, the menu options, the headers down here. If we go to the service catalog, we can see that all of these have automatically been translated. If we go back to the home page, and we were to look at, for example, tickets, again, all of the headers, the filters, the actual naming conventions, have all been changed. Likewise, if we go to the search functions, we can also see that all of these have automatically been converted as well. So again, extremely easy to manage different types of languages for customers that are, for example, English isn't their base language within the system, so you can manage all the varying languages that you'd like within the Alemba Service Manager. Now, once tickets are logged, as I mentioned, if we go back to the actual Alemba Service Manager core, what we can see is a variety of information. So if we go into a ticket that was already logged, as you can see here, we have the English translation for "I have a problem with my laptop, broken screen," but this was actually logged in the Spanish language, and this was the translation for that particular ticket that's being logged. So again, we can both cater for customers within Alemba self-service to manage all the varying different language translations, but likewise we can also manage how the actual analyst views the particular translation within ASM Core as well.